friends, and welcome back to our kitchen. Today we're doing another pantry mix. We're going to be doing potato soup, and I'm going to show y'all how to do this dry mix to keep in your pantry that'll probably help you save time and money. So let's turn around here and get started. This right here is great to have in your pantry for lunches or dinners. Something fast, quick, and cheap. This potato soup is sort of like the kind you would buy at the store in those little individual bags. But we're going to be using what we have in our pantry today to make it homemade. Okay, this is what you're going to be needing. You're going to need some chicken bouillon, some dry milk, some instant potatoes, and then you're going to need some thyme, onions, dried onions, onion powder, black pepper, garlic powder, celery seed, some little chives, and salt. So now let's turn around here and I've already got my stuff measured out, all but the chicken bouillon and the other stuff, the seasonings we're going to put in it. But let's mix this together and show you what it turns out like. This is the kind of potatoes I'm using. You could use any kind you can find. Just the potato flakes is what you're going to be needing, that you use to make mashed potatoes with. We're going to go ahead and add our 1 3/4 cup of the instant potatoes. Then we're going to add our 1 1/2 cups of dried milk. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of the chicken bouillon. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And then this right here is the dried onions. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of the dried onions. And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. And 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed. And then the green chives, I'm just going to put probably a good tablespoon of green chives. And about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And now we're just going to give all that a good blend. And I'm using my pastry blender. Oh, it smells good already. Just make sure all that gets incorporated together. And this right here is going to make a good bowl of potato soup. And we're going to be putting ours in our mason jar today. You could even measure this out. To make a bowl of potato soup, you'll take a half a cup of this mix. So you could even put it in a Ziploc bag if you didn't want to store it in a mason jar to take up as much space. Or even if you wanted to have the little bags where you could take them with you. You could put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the serving size, and that way you wouldn't have to measure it out. You'd have it measured out and ready. But we're going to go ahead and start adding our mix in here. And this is going to be a good item to have on our pantry shelf to keep stocked up on for something fast and quick for a lunch or dinner. Okay, that's what it looks like. You can see how it's got all the good spices in it and the green chives. Now let's make us up a little bowl of this. And we're going to measure out a half a cup of our mix. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now we're going to measure out a half a cup of this mix to 1 cup of water. And we're going to show you what it turns out like. I'm actually going to go ahead and make a double batch. I've got 2 cups of water, and I'm going to put 1 cup of my potato mix in it. But we're going to let that water start coming to a boil, and then we'll put our potato mix in it. Okay, we've got our water starting to get good and hot. It's not boiling yet, but it's getting there. I'm going to go ahead now and add my potatoes and my potato mix in there. Just give that a good stir and let it start cooking. Oh, it smells so good. And if you wanted little dices of potatoes in it, you could cook you up a little, like 1 potato, dice it up, put it in the microwave, and cook it on low for a few minutes and get it tender, and add it in here. But this right here is just a great little pantry staple to keep in your pantry for a quick bowl of potato soup. And now that it's starting to get a little thick and cooking up, I'm going to add me 1 tablespoon of butter. Real butter. And we'll just let that butter melt, and our soup is ready to go. Added just a few more chives to it, and right there we've got a nice bowl of potato soup in about 5 minutes.